Good morning, Group D. This is Mr. Lopez guiding you through our 16.1 Math Go workbook. So we're at 16.1. So you should have your math books ready. You should have a pencil, and again, like we always do, you should have a colored pencil if you do have one, or a highlighter. So we're looking at measure area. Here's our essential question: how can you find the area of a plane figure? That is our key for today. I did provide you with a PDF copy of the 1-inch square, 1-inch grid paper. You should already have those cut out. If you have not cut those out as of yet, or not downloaded and printed out, you will go ahead and pause this right now and go ahead and go to RenWeb on the document section, and you should see the PDF file. And I've already sent also a PDF file to your parents via email through RenWeb. If you don't have it, send me an email and I'll send it to you as soon as possible. So those of you that do have them, you need to cut those cubes out, and we're going to be using these to work on this activity. So let's go ahead and review what we're going to be learning today. So the area is the measurement of the number of unit squares needed to cover a flat surface. A unit square is a square with one side length of 1 unit. It has the area of 1 square unit. So this is 1 unit, 1 square unit. Okay. So again, using the grid paper, we're going to go through letter A, B, and answer any questions that you have. So let's go ahead and look at what they're asking us to do. So you can measure the area of rectangles with 1-inch squares. So you should cut out 8 1-inch squares. Use the dashed lines as guides to place for A and C. So A, place 4 tiles on rectangle A. So go ahead and place 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. And let's answer the questions. First question is asking you, are there any gaps? It's the yes or no question. So you have 1 square here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. Yes, you do have gaps right here and gaps right here. Are there any overlaps? That means, does this square overlap with this square here? So no, there are no overlaps here. So Jamie says that the area is 4 square inches. So he's saying that there's 4 square inches. We're trying to see whether that is correct or not. Is Jamie's measurement correct? Well, the answer is no. The answer is no, because this placement here has gaps in it, and in order to measure the square area of a flat surface, there cannot be any gaps between the two tiles that were placed in here in order to do the measurements. Okay, so the key is here is that there's gaps. The answer here is no. So let's look at the next question. Let me erase that for you. Go ahead and place 8 rectangles. 8 tiles here, 4 here, 4 here. Place them the best way you can. So take a minute to do that. Okay, you should have placed your 8 tiles here, and what you notice when you place those 8, you should have seen some overlapping, like so, something like that. You get the idea of what I'm trying to do. Please be patient with me. I'm still learning to use this drawing tool, and I'm using my mouse. I have the pen ordered right now, but it hasn't been delivered yet. Once I get the pen, it'll be finer. So let's answer the questions. Okay, are there any gaps? So are there gaps like they were in this section here? Well, the answer is no. There are no gaps. Are there any overlaps? Do you see any of these tiles crossing over to the area of the other tiles? The answer here is yes. The answer here is yes. Jamie says there are 8. Jamie says the area is 8 square inches. Is Jamie's measurement correct? It's a yes or a no. Well, the answer here is no, because when you measure the area, the tiles cannot overlap. So here we have on this one, when you measure area, there cannot be any spaces, and when you measure area, the tiles cannot overlap. So those are the key concepts you want to get from questions A and B. Let's go over to question letter C. Okay, we're using the same tiles. So place 6 tiles. So place one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, and here. You should have 6. Let's answer these questions. Are there any gaps? Well, the answer is no. Sorry. Are there any overlaps? Do any of these overlap with the other ones like they did in question B? Well, the answer is no here also. Here's the question here. Jamie says the area is 6 square inches. Is Jamie's measurement correct? Well, the answer here is yes. So the area of the rectangle is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 square inches. The answer is 6. And again, if we look at how we figure this out with multiplying, you have, I'm sorry, it keeps popping out. You have, oops. You have 1, 2 here, 1, 2, 3. To get the area, you multiply your length times your width. So L times W. That gives you A. So your length is 3, your width is 2, and your answer is 6. Okay, and you can also use it by placing this. So length times width gives you your area. And again, there are no gaps and there are no overlaps. Nice work. Let's move on to the next section. Okay, count to find the area of the large figure. Each unit square is 1 square centimeter. So there are how many unit squares in the figure? So just count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Did you get 17? Very good. So 17 would be your unit square in the figure. So the area is 17 square centimeters. And we just counted the squares in this case right here. Okay, let's do the same here. Count to find the area of the figure. Each square unit is 1 centimeter. Make sure you count length times width. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So length 5 times 4, and your area is 20. Okay. This one says there's no overlaps, there's no gaps. Count your squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 square inches here. And try this one again. There's no overlaps, there's no gaps. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You should have 10 square centimeters there. So again, the key here, no overlaps, no gaps. This one we counted the length times width. This one we counted the square units. Let me erase that. Okay, let's look at a problem solving question here. Danny's placing tiles on the floor of an office lobby. Each tile is 1 square meter. The diagram at the right shows the lobby. What is the area? We can do it 2 ways. We can count all the tiles, but we can do it the smart way, and we just use the formula length. So your length is 1, 2, 3, 4 times width. 1, 2, 3. So your length times width equals what? 12. Okay. And make sure you put square meters here, because if you don't, I don't know whether it's chickens, pigs, horses, or geese, so make sure you put this one. I'm just not able to do it right now because I'm using my mouse here. So let's do another one. Angie is painting a space shuttle mural on a wall. Each section is 1 square foot. The diagram shows the unfinished. Why that keeps showing up? The diagram shows the unfinished mural. How many more square feet has Angie painted than not painted on her mural? So we can see that these have been painted and these have not. So the first thing we do, we know that this is the entire mural. So this is multi-step. We need to first get the area of the entire mural and do what? That is correct. We're going to have to subtract 2 because those are the 2 that are not painted yet, and that is the question they're asking you. this one. Not paint it on your mural. Okay. How many more square feet has Angie painted than not? How many more of these that she has painted than these? Okay. How many more square feet has Angie painted than not painted? So the only ones she didn't paint are these two. So let's get the area here. 1, 2, 3. This is the width. The length is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 times 3 gives us 18. That's one step. Now we have 2 that are not finished, so we have to do what? Subtract those 2. And your answer would be 16. 16 square feet. And make sure you put square feet. I'm doing my best here, because if you don't, I don't know what's chickens, pigs, horses, geese. So make sure so your answer is 18 minus 2 is 16, because she has painted 16 and not 2. But first we get the entire area. Then remember, multi-step, you're going to have 2 steps. Okay, let's go to the next one. Alright, so does it make sense or does it not make sense? Tom places green square tiles on the figure at the right. Here you go. He says that the figure has an area of 12 square units. Does his statement make sense? Does the statement make sense? Well, maybe I should have clicked that a long time ago. So write your answer here and explain it to me. So please don't get caught with saying yes, because the easy thing to do is, oh, I'm going to count these 3. Whoa, here's my width, here's my length. Yes, it is correct. 4 times 3 is 12. Yes, it does. But no. Why not? Because there are gaps between the squares. So it is not correct. It does not make sense because you have gaps. And if you remember from the first question, the first problems we worked on today, up here in the front, and it says right here, when you measure area, there can be no space or gaps between. So when you measure area, there can be no space. So that's why that one does not make sense. Here you have a rectangle A, rectangle B. You are to write a problem using this and this. So get the square area. You can do, the answers will vary. You can get how many more square units is A than B, or how many more does B need to equal A. Again, there will be different here. So hopefully you develop a good question right here. And I'll be asking some of you to submit these later on. So make sure you have your problem here. Let's go to the reasoning. You measure the area of the tabletop with the blue square units and green unit. Here they are. Which square unit will give you a greater number of square units for area? A greater number. Is this one, the blue one, or the green one? Explain it to me. And if you wrote down the blue one, you are correct, because the blue one has a greater area than the green one, so you would use this one to give you a greater number of square units for that area. Well, very good work today. Glad everyone is doing well. You have your daily task assessment to work on independently today. We will check this tomorrow morning. And you have your homework for today. So work on this. We will check this tomorrow morning. I will have the YouTube video up and running on Wednesday morning. We'll check your answers and answer any questions that you may have. So again, thank you again for tuning into this YouTube channel. I hope everyone is doing great. Please be patient with your parents, children. Please be mindful. We are all doing this together. It's something new, but I believe once we get through this week, everything should run a little bit more smoothly. I hope everyone has a wonderful morning. And if you have any questions, again, I'm just an email away. Thank you again. Y'all have a great afternoon.